You know, there's some talk about the Chinese unpegging the yuan from the dollar and that the appreciation in that currency could affect precious metals going forward. Do you think that there may be some positioning going on here by the smart money, big money institutions in advance of some currency changes or shifts in Asia?
Well, there's always been speculation that the Chinese currency was, going to be allowed to appreciate more than what the Chinese government has said it would allow. I don't know that really is a big factor, Chris. Certainly not as big a factor as the growing prosperity in China, the growth of a middle class there, and the encouragement by the Chinese government of its citizens to buy gold and silver to store their savings. As time goes on, anything that increases the wealth of China is likely to be good for the gold price because China has a great love of gold.
Bill Murphy?
GATA discovered years ago through our sources that Chinese were buying gold 5 years before the establishment realized that this was the case, and we reported that, and we almost got the tonnage exactly right. And as Chris said, they're encouraging their people to buy gold and silver. It makes sense with the kind of reserves they have for a country to shift money into gold. I know that the Chinese want to know what we have to say. We've been a part of 3 conference calls with the Chinese Investment Corporation, their sovereign wealth fund, over the past 19 months, and they certainly know the gold story from GATA's viewpoint, and they know where we think the price is going. So if you think it's going to 3,000 to 5,000, and for diversification purposes, why wouldn't you buy it at 1,000, 1,100, and so on?
Do either of you want to go on record for a 2010 target for the yellow metal? And maybe we should address silver a bit, too, before we close.
Well, the silver is annoying because, J.P. Morgan Chase and short 40,000 contracts, as acknowledged by Ted Butler, who's done tremendous work in this area. It's the most concentrated short position in history, and they keep selling. And look, today, for example, it was ridiculous. Last night, silver went to $18.90, dropped a dime in seconds, and did it again today, and ends up today with only up 17 cents. And it's just their short position keeps growing and growing. It's the U.S. government. It's aggravating. I mean, one day it's just going to go berserk to the upside, but I don't know how they're going to blow up. Someone's going to have to take delivery of COMEX silver, I guess.
Chris, any thoughts?
The silver market is a bigger mystery because there's just less public central bank involvement in it, Chris. But insofar as it is, the short position is more concentrated there. There's definitely the great potential for an explosion someday, especially if the commodity regulators should ever start enforcing position limits.
Very good. Well, as we wrap up those targets on gold, anybody want to go on record for next year?
Well, I do think that gold producers generally need a price of at least $1,500 to be profitable and replace reserves. Whether that happens next year, I'm not quite sure, but I don't think the central banks want deflation. I think they want a controlled rise in the gold price, and I don't think they want to exhaust their gold reserves, which means that they need to encourage some gold production. So I think 1,500 is a good minimal target for next year.
And Mr. Murphy?
At Gold Rush 21, with the price of gold $436, I said gold's going to need a $3,000 to $5,000 price to clear the market because of what the fundamentals were going to play out. So I stick with that one, and I would think by next year at some point for sure that we're going to take out 2,000.
As we close up, if listeners would like to find out more about GATA and the rest of your work, would each of you mind sharing your websites?
No, that's La Metropole Cafe for me.
We're at GATA, GATA.org. LaMetropoleCafe is .com.
Chris Powell and Bill Murphy, thank you for joining us on the program, and congratulations, I think, are due. Have a wonderful remainder of the week here.
Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.